Greetings, petrolheads. Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. So last time we built a 1946 GT car with a V12, and actually there was somebody commenting that it's 1946. Use push rods. Why are you using dual overhead cams? Keep in mind that I did emphasize at the start of this campaign, like a couple of weeks ago, that this company will fail in some time in the 50s, and the reason it will probably fail, like this is probably the start of a big descent, if you will, because this is going to be so expensive that, given it is 1946, that's just after the Second World War. Like, people don't have money for expensive cars like that. They'd rather spend their money on like rebuilding a country or something along those lines. And not only is it expensive to buy, it's also really expensive to run. And like, nobody would buy this car. So, and the overhead cam thing was there to kind of, you know, make the car seem more advanced, seem more prestigious, but actually also, you know, a lot less affordable. So keep in mind that this was intended, and what we need to do now is, I think, try and build a new city car, and what we do for that is choose this body shell. However, we are gonna stick with the engine that we have already built in the 1945, I think, is when we revised it. And because we can't afford to develop a new engine, because we just built a big V12 on a premium GT car. I don't want to spoiler it, but this is also intended to kind of stick with older tech, stick with something that's maybe not ideal, because this company, again, I can't, apparently I have to repeat myself there, it will fail, and this is, I'm intentionally taking steps towards that. So steel panels, and then let us just begin with the fixtures. What kind of grill do we want? Do we take a smaller one, or do we take, what is this? Should we take this one? Or should we turn it around? Yeah, I think this suits the car pretty well. Now we need a badge right here. And some indicators, I think. Right there. Very simplistic look. And doors. Pretty simple door handles, I think. And then some very simple taillights as well. Yeah, well, this is probably not the kind of number plate style you want in the 50s. This is more like it. Right, and a badge like there, I guess. Exhausts again are going to be somewhere under this chrome bumper. And let's move on. There's going to be River Drive once again. It's going to be the 1950 city car. And engine wise, we will go for a yes, this one. Alright, and now I need to clone this. Let's clone the 1945 version. It is only a 1 liter. And I think what we need to do is first of all advance in year. Which I can't hesitate to repeat, now takes forever. Like, changing year used to be something that happens nearly instantly. Now it takes quite a long time. So what do we change for this year? I think we go a little bit higher on the stroke. We just increase the capacity maybe a little bit, or maybe we don't and just stick with the 1 liter, but just basically resized. Which will save weight. I think we are gonna spend some extra money on reverse flow mufflers. On this thing a little bit. Oh, came around it much richer. No, don't want that to happen. So overall we haven't really gained much here in terms of power, but we have gained torque. There are now automatic gearboxes as well, but only with 2 speeds. Now, I don't think that's gonna be very well suited for this car, which is why I think we should go for a 4-speed manual like on the Volkswagen Beetle. Top speed doesn't really matter, but let's just gear it for. We'll adjust this a little bit later. Now the gearing is gonna be quite long for good economy. Tires will be, excuse me, 18 millimeters. That seems a little bit too narrow. 110 is still not really what I would consider a tire, but Okay, 125 millimeters is like at least somewhat acceptable. I'm gonna keep it this way. Drum brakes and more drum brakes, because there's nothing else. Way less cooling airflow, of course. What else? 4 seats. Standard interior, standard radio, standard safety, and a comfortable suspension setup. Right, less than 700 kilograms, 8.24 liters per 100 kilometers. That's not particularly economical. And again, that is kind of intended. I did, on purpose make the fuel mixture a little bit richer. That was totally intended. And let's try and make this thing, give this thing a little bit more overdrive. Now it does, okay, it did improve economy, and it did improve 0 to 100 time, which is still 36.9 seconds. Like, that is just ridiculously long. Then again, you gotta consider that in 1950, the whole road network was, not as, by far not as well completed, if you will, as it is today. Like, lots of roads didn't even have, lots of roads weren't even made from tarmac. There was just, some gravel or dirt roads or whatever. You wouldn't be able to go very fast anyway, and so off-road of 22 is just fine, and you weren't gonna go very fast anyway, so it doesn't really matter if the top speed is 112 kilometers an hour, because you can't really use it anyway. So this is the 1 liter. 1950. So, however, well, first of all, let's make a wagon out of this as well. Oh, well, not here. I need to change this here. That one, I think. Yes, and on this one we should also rearrange the tail lights a little bit. Like that. Let's see, we got lower weight, we got lower drivability, worse economy because of the higher drag coefficient, I guess. 40.1 seconds acceleration time. The stopping distance is actually okay for this day and age. And in terms of markets, it's green everywhere. It's a potent pony car, guys, with 30 horsepower from a 1-liter engine. Yeah, of course. That is the 1-liter estate. But now, of course, what we will do is clone this engine and make something a little bit more spicy, you know, because there's always going to be people, you know, just like people who want hot hatches today. Do you want the practicality and the everyday usability of a hatchback, also some more speed, and of course that sort of thing obviously also existed in 1950 Kappa. For those of you who didn't know this, I was being sarcastic, but yeah, what we will do now is we will make a 1.2-liter engine of this thing. And retune it, because all you need in life is power. Because while economy is traditionally measured in liters per 100 kilometers, if you cover those 100 kilometers more quickly, then the engine is going to be running for less time, and if the engine is going to be running for less time, it's going to be consuming fuel for a shorter amount of time. That is actually an arguing technique that might work on some people who know nothing about cars. On anybody else, obviously, that logic is faulty. But you know, I was trying to argue like a car salesman to somebody who has no idea what they're about to buy. All right. 42.5 horsepower. How high can we rev this thing? $4,500. Okay, 44 horsepower. This is actually a pretty nice torque curve. And now we will go here. Yes, this thing is going to have a higher top speed, pretty obviously. Still 0 wheel spin, like absolutely 0. This is still fine. Brake fade is obviously a concern, but actually on this one you might want to get rid of this and fit some race pad types, because we truly need those. Actually, not even those will take care of on brake fit. So we might as well stay at a reasonable amount, which is like 70 front. We have plenty of cooling still, and let's try and fiddle with this a little bit. Make it a little bit sportier, because that's all people really want. That makes the suspension, the bump graph not really that pleasant. Spring stiffness. 0.3 sportiness. Well, what if you reduce this size a little bit? 1.1 sportiness. Still don't get any wheel spin whatsoever. 115. Oh, that is actually a pretty nice sporty yaw graph or steering graph. But we should keep in mind that we preferably would like to keep drivability above 30, I think. 30.1 is above 30, and we are now making more sportiness than drivability on the steering behavior graph. And look at that, 22.4 seconds from 0 to 100. It's 14, or how many seconds faster than before? 14 seconds? Yeah. It does a 23.1 a second quarter mile, as opposed to the 25.75 on the 1 liter engine. And it does it at a staggering 101 kilometers an hour. Well, here you go. This is how you save fuel. You don't need to. You spend less time getting to your destination, which means because the engine runs for a shorter time, you use less fuel. Yeah, right. So of course, you may want to argue that some people might want, the practicality of an estate with the power of that 1.2 liter engine. Wait, what did I just clone? I think I cloned the 1 liter estate by accident. I want to clone this. No. This is the one I want to select, okay? Car trim 2. We will delete car trim 3 and car trim 1. Alright. Maybe not. Let's go with this. It's a 1950 this will use a lot more fuel than even the estate version of this. There's the 1.2 liter. Good. 22.8 as far as 0 to 100 goes. 122 kilometers an hour top speed. Those are, the numbers that sell this car. Because everybody wants speed when, people are usually just busy, getting to their place of work and trying to rebuild their country. What they really want is speed. Yeah, sure. And if they wanted speed, the people who really have money would buy that V12 GT car. But if you also want everyday practicality, why not buy this? Alrighty then. So that is going to be our 1950 city car with a 1 liter and a 1.2 liter version. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.